Hey, before I actually do this video, there's actually something really important about PhotoPlus that I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention. And if someone met me at PhotoPlus, they can leave a comment below to confirm this, at least about myself, of course, is that I saw actually a couple big YouTubers at PhotoPlus, and I'm not throwing any shade on them at all, but let me give you a compare and contrast. I man, I shook so many hands and I hugged so many people during PhotoPlus and answered tons of tech support questions on various things. Just it was literally absolutely off the hook. Every 5 feet, if someone stopped me, I stopped to talk to them as long as possible, and I hugged a lot of people. That is frame of reference number one. Frame of reference number two, the two big YouTube stars, don't ask me who they were, it's not important. I wasn't following either one of them. I actually saw one of them at one place, at one booth, and another one they actually came over to a booth where I was hanging out at. And then there was another one, I don't know if they were together or they're just traveling together. But when one of the big YouTube stars left, someone wanted to stop, and he went like this, and he walked really fast, and so the person unmistakably wanted to stop and talk to this big YouTube star, and they brushed him off. I mean, they didn't didn't push him or nothing, but make a beeline. Yeah, and I think that since, other than the people that met me at PhotoPlus, I've never said I'm a saint. I'm not trying to paint myself as a saint here. I'm definitely not. I've been called out for being a little too crusty, but you really shouldn't judge people until you actually know them. We're all guilty of that. We'll hate people or yell at our TV set. I don't actually do any of that stuff. Yell at politicians or whatnot, or a TV set, or people that we don't like, and it's you really don't know that person. It's very easy to make a video or two a week, which is what most people do. And hi, I love you. Click the link below. I love you. Just I'm not saying that's fake, but what people do in their videos, like me being grouchy. I'm actually not grouchy in person at all. I just kind of have a really low tolerance for nonsense and BS. That's all. So I really wanted to say that about the PhotoPlus convention. Anyway, the title of this video, I think, should be Bad News in Photography. Everybody that's taken my advice on this, every one of them, has reported back with 100% success, that this does work. All the stuff that, you or I or someone else, we would love to travel the world and take pictures of exotic places, and there are a very small handful of people that can actually do that. It's the same thing with people taking pictures of beautiful people. That's nice and all. And there are a very small number of people that are able to do that and make a decent living at it. But not only is the money tight, but you have to work really hard for it. I know a couple of people that do that, and they themselves, in their own words, say it's a constant struggle with other people, fighting for the top, upper echelon of doing that kind of photography. There's a lot of money to be made in photography. There's what we like to photograph, and if you can make that your job, that's wonderful. But there's a lot of money in photography. Everybody that's complaining about money in photography is really pursuing the wrong stuff. They really are. I got 2 jobs within the past 48 hours. One is product photography. It's a small job. The other one is shots for a business's website. Okay? I've said this 1,000 times in countless videos. Get yourself some business cards. What's that? $20. Get yourself a free blog spot, which is owned by Google. It's a free website. You can upload your pictures there. I mean, if you want something free. So you got business cards and a free website. Walk around with your pro camera. You'll be surprised. You should be walking around with a camera anyway. I mean, I know you're not a photojournalist. You don't take your camera to the grocery store, yeah? But you'd be surprised how many people will stop you. Man, I need some pictures. Are you a photographer? I need some pictures done from my website. It's literally as simple as that. You'll end up with so much work you won't know what to do with yourself. Or you could frequent your favorite stores or stores that I saw your website. It's pretty shabby. We don't say it that way. It's like, I could do a much better job for you. Really? Well, a lot of people complain about our website's pictures are pretty. Joe took some pictures with his iPhone, and those are our business's website. Yeah, I don't charge that much, and I could have it done just like that for you and take some nice high-resolution, well-lit, composed and edited shots. That's brilliant. How much do you charge? There's a lot of money to be made in photography. I mean, there really is. All these people complaining, there's no money for that. Well, it's just because, and of course one guy actually, because he has a medium format camera and he has the edge, and I said in the prior video from yesterday, medium format is the edge. He's doing landscape photography, doing prints and framing. I think he's framing him. I don't know if he's framing him. He didn't say that. But he's doing landscape large prints for a hotel. I don't know if he said a hotel chain, but he said a hotel. He's already paid for his GFX camera. There's a lot of money to be made in photography, but it's just not in the stuff that... And all the stuff that people will try to pursue, wedding photography, portrait photography. I mean, all the people and all the drama involved. No. You and I have all seen the same TV shows and the same movies. Or some like fashion photographer or some guy with a large studio. It's just, he might be famous and whatnot, but the money's tight and he's a lot of drama. And you don't have to do that. If you want to take pictures of landscapes or take pictures of dirty kittens in alleys, or like, homeless people with heroin needles, shooting up or something, you're a street photographer, right? Whatever you want to do, make that your hobby, If you want to make it your job, that's fine. However, everybody that makes their passion their job ends up destroying their passion 99 times out of 100. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, yeah, I took my passion and I made a job out of it. Now I hate my passion. Why don't you, if you want money in photography, why don't you put that equipment to use? You can still do all the stuff that you want to photograph. You just won't be getting paid for it. But if you do, that's even better. But don't try to make the bulk of what you're trying to get paid for. Why would you want to abuse yourself and try to make money in photography that's incredibly tight? Landscape photography, wildlife photography. Man, I know a couple of the best wildlife photographers out there. They're not really making money. One of them was a National Geographic photographer. I'll never forget growing up looking at his pictures. I saw his Nikon cameras, his old ones, for sale on eBay. I had a phone call with a guy, a real live famous National Geographic photographer, not Steve McCurry, another guy. I won't mention his name. And his business is tight. He's like, I was like, why are you selling those two Nikon cameras? He's like, well, I need some money to buy a camera. I'm not going to tell you what camera you wanted to buy. I was like, well, I would have thought you'd get free cameras from, I'm not going to say the camera company. He's like, no, I still have to buy those. This guy's a famous National Geographic photographer. Very famous photos. Everybody would recognize the photos if they saw them. I immediately recognized, like, wow, that's your photo, man. I'll never forget that photo. It's like burned into my brain. That's wonderful and that's prestigious, but that's not where the money is in photography. It's just not. And here's another thing. Why am I the only, top 20 YouTubers, wherever the hell I am, somewhere in there, top 10. Why am I the only person saying this? Why? Why? Come take a workshop. Man, I really don't believe in photo walks and workshops. I really do not. Photography is not a group activity. It's just not, unless you're a photojournalist or something. The notion of going on a photo walk and like taking pictures of the same stuff or trying to emulate somebody, I am really, really, really opposed to photo walks. It's just like, photography is not a group activity. It's not like sex, it's just not. It's not a group activity. Anyway, just why don't you consider that, because what I'm telling you is the truth. There's lots of money in photography, but it's not in the stuff that you probably want to do. I want to take pictures of beautiful naked people. Yeah, there's a lot of really skilled photographers that are doing that for free, and they're a better photographer than you are. And they work hard at staying in a position where they're doing photography for free. Who wouldn't want to take pictures of beautiful naked people, right? Yeah, but do you want to fight for something that has little to no pay? You might, if you're rich or something. Like another famous photographer told me there's really, really good photographers. They're rich, and they'll fight for jobs, and they do it for free, but they do it for the prestige, to get their name in print. Oh, look at this, man! They show all the rich friends. They're not getting paid to do it, and they got the skills. Yeah, that would tell you a lot right there, wouldn't it? There's the same thing with the landscape. There's some like 50 to 60-year-old dudes. They've already freaking retired. They own the most expensive camera gear in the world, which, it's only camera gear. Yeah, but they own the best in the world, and they're really good photographers. And they're doing landscape photography for free. You're never gonna beat them. You're never gonna beat them. This guy, he's got 40 years of photography skills, and he's shooting with a Phase 1, and his work is free or nearly, They're doing it for the prestige and the honor. To that, that is a type of currency in itself. This is why rich people, part of their evil nature is they want to be famous. Fame is not money. Well, it kind of is, but it's its own currency. There are people that are trading in the currency of fame and prestige. They've already retired. They got all the money. You're not going to beat them. You're not going to do it. Why compete with those people? Why would you try to compete with them? No! Make a screen grab of this. Me crossing my eyes, acting like a total fool. No! No. Enough said. Mic drop.